Look at this. Look how sick this is. Look at on the back. Look at that. Three episodes there. What do we see when we open it up? Series 1, Volume 1. Look at that absolute beauty. Look at it on the side as well. Oh, that's got literally no relevance whatsoever. I just really wanted to show people. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about some things that I hope Doctor Who does with Season 1, with its new revamped Disney Plus series. You know, the money. It needs to be doing some great things with the amount of budget it's apparently getting. I'm going to talk about some theories that I have and some ways that I hope the show goes as well. And I'll try and do it in chronological order, so episode 1 to episode 8. So episode 1, Space Babies, I think it's going to be similar to Wild Blue Yonder, in the sense that it's going to be like a very claustrophobic feeling episode. So we know there's someone else, and then there's also Ncuti Gatwa and Millie Gibson. I can't remember the other actor's name, and I'm not doing the research. Apart from that, I think it's only them and the cast of babies which talk, and the creature which is being speculated to be called the Bogeyman. And it looks like there's a hell of a lot of snot on one of the roofs as well, so I don't know if it's literally the Bogeyman or not. I really hope it's not. Like, knowing Doctor Who, probably is. So that one, I reckon the first like 10 minutes it'll just be a little introduction to the TARDIS. It goes through time and space. Where do you want to go? Oh, we go to the dinosaurs a bit. Oh, you're a creature. Oh, never mind, you're not, you're fine. And now we're on a spaceship. So 10 minutes in, I reckon the story will start to get moving. It'll stumble on the ship. It'll take his coat off. He goes to the control. Raw, like that preview. Just went raw. Like that preview clip we saw at the end of the Christmas special. We don't really know a lot about the story, really. There's loads of clips going about, but we don't know a lot about the actual plot itself. There's just space babies and a monster, which is probably, you know what, I'm gonna make a plot point right here. The monster scares the children, and it scares them into keeping them there because there's somewhere dangerous that could kill them outside the spaceship. That's as far as I've got with that so far, I think. Episode 2, Devil's Chord. As a classic music fan, I'm so excited for this, although there's already been established that they can't actually use Beatles music. So I'm excited to see how they're going to get around that. Will the Doctor and Ruby potentially invent a Beatles song, and will they actually perform it to them? Is that what we're seeing? Or will they defeat Jinx Monsoon's character by like singing as well? Because we know she like takes musical notes and like harnesses them to be like evil powers or weapons. So what if they use their music notes from their mouths and use it as a weapon against hers? That could be something. That could be something really interesting. Also, Ncuti Gatwa's costume for this episode looks bloody great. I can't wait. Boom, episode 3. This is probably the one that, or it might not be actually. I was going to say it's probably the one that I'm most excited about. It might not be, but it's definitely up there. It's definitely up there. Stephen Moffat's return after what? 6.5 years of not writing a Doctor episode. The driest 6.5 years of my life, if I do say so myself. And we saw him in RTD1. It was incredible. He wrote The Empty Child Doctor Dances, he wrote The Girl in the Fireplace, Blink, and Silent Library and Forest of the Dead, and they are all exceptionally good stories. Girl in the Fireplace, you know, maybe that's the lowest one, 7 out of 10 or something. Everything else, extraordinary. Also, in the trailer we've seen, it looks like there's going to be a very Doctor-defining moment there. There's a speech where he goes, "I will shatter the silly little battlefield into dust, in a heartbeat into dust," and I cannot wait for that. There's got to be something huge going on. The stakes got to be high, the Doctor's got to be there, and it's going to be like a really just, this is the Doctor. You're looking at the Doctor, you're watching him make this epic speech. This is the Doctor. And, you know, we never really had one of those with Jodie. Never really. Not really with the 14th Doctor, although obviously it was David Tennant's face, so it was easier to get across that it's the Doctor. But with Jodie, not really one comes out the mound. There was that one in The Woman Who Fell to Earth, which was pretty solid for like an opening episode, but it never really came out that is the Doctor that you're looking at. Like in an epic way, it was never really that. Episode 4, 73 Yards, is another one that I'm really excited for, because if you remember like a kind of while back now, Russell T Davies said that this was one of the best things he'd ever written in all of his television career. That's got to be something mad. So my prediction would be that this is quite a Doctor light episode, mainly focused on Millie, and something to do with like paranormal things. Of course, it's going to be more supernatural this entire season, but I reckon it's going to get really weird in this. Maybe even some like hallucinations of the Doctor. That would be very cool. And we've seen in the trailer different shots of Millie Gibson looking to be like as different things. So maybe they're all from this episode and they're different timelines, and they're like, what happens if the Doctor does this, if the Doctor does this, if the Doctor didn't do this? That could be like an interesting thing. But knowing Russell T Davies, if this is one of the best things he's ever written in his entire TV history, it's got to be a bit more complicated than that, a bit more complex, and there's got to be loads of things. And I'm really looking forward to episode 4. Dot and Bubble, episode 5. This is a weird one. I remember seeing the filming pictures for these. It must have been like December 2020 2022, maybe early 2023. And I was like, it really reminded me of Classic Who, the slug monster things, and they still do. But I'm not as interested as this as any of the other ones. I think this is the one that I'm least interested in, maybe along with Space Babies. But Space Babies is the first episode, so I'm going to be intrigued now. I've literally got not a clue what this could be about. We know it's focused on that one blonde girl and trying to find a picture of her and put her up there. But we know it's going to be like, a lot of her is going to be in it. Apart from that, I've really not got a clue. There's like a town city kind of thing with a bubble around it. That's where Bubble comes and Dot. But what's Dot? We have no idea. We've got not a clue at all. I genuinely don't know what to make of this episode yet. Like, there's not been enough for me to actually think, what can this be? Episode 6, Rogue. That's the Bridgerton episode. And there's rumours that Captain Jack will be in it, played by that handsome fellow over there. Who played? What did he play? Did he play Kristoff in Frozen? I think that's what he played, isn't it? Anyway, I don't think that is going to be Captain Jack. I think this is going to be another space fugitive, something like that, running away from someone, trying to just start a new life, or maybe trying to lie low until like the air clears and he can go back off away on a spaceship. And maybe the Doctor's led the monster things that we've seen come out the people. Maybe the Doctor accidentally led them there. Maybe they're looking for the character who's hiding away. That is probably the thing that I think is going to happen. I don't think that's Captain Jack, and I don't think it's going to be really related to him at all. If it is, I will eat my words happily, and I will be shocked. Right, episode 7, Legend of Ruby Sunday. It's going to be big. It's obviously the penultimate episode of the... I can't even say it. It's the penultimate episode of the season. There we are. So it's the first part of the 2-part season finale, and it's going to be mad. So a theory that I've seen and that I'm really on board with is that Ruby Sunday isn't real. She's a myth, but the Doctor made her real by the salt thing in Wild Blue Yonder. Everything's come to life, all myths are real, and Ruby Sunday was a myth, and now she's real. Something's going to happen, the Doctor's going to find something out. I've had an Empire of Death, episode 8. Something even bigger is going to happen. I really don't have much, to be honest. But I really hope there's some like emotional things. Ruby like is in serious danger. We know she's a bit in season 2, so she can't exactly die. I would love if like for a bit maybe she gets taken away, or she's removed from reality for a bit or something, and she becomes real maybe. But that could be similar to what happened in the Church of Ruby Road, thinking about it, to be fair. But I wouldn't want exactly that because that didn't go too well. Just if you do that in a cleaner way, make it emotional, and realise Ruby was never real. But then you have to kind of bring her back, so that's the challenging part. That I think Russell, if he put his head down, he could probably figure out a way to do it. He can do a hell of a lot of things, but that's an absolute challenge, even for any of the best Doctor Who writers. But all my predictions and hopes for season 1. Oh, here's another thing for season 2. I hope the bloody broadcast time is decent for England. Bloody midnight on iPlayer. I can't be bothered, I swear to God. Anyway, there are all my hopes and all my theories for Doctor Who Season 1. Hopefully it's a banging season. That's what the show really, really needs. Big old refresh. Looks like there's going to be no return of monsters for this season. So here's hoping that they can start off strong, make a huge name for themselves by just going off original ideas. And let's hope for the best for the future. Thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you in a bit.